shows all over the world, we see that the horses are getting better. In total, we breed about 20 160 horses, but under it, more and more are coming with 140, 145, and that's good for us. So for me, it's more important to have a mare that's having offspring that they are all in sport, than at least just one doing the 160 and 9 or 10 foals more, not seeing them in sport anywhere. So that's a bit our criteria. The same we do with searching for stallions. When we're going to use a stallion, and mostly young stallions, we take the same criteria. So also I want to get information from the mom, from the grandma, from the great-grandma. I want information from the siblings, and then I choose to use a 5, 6 or 7-year-old stallion to make stronger progress to breed that more modern showjumper. So it's a bit hard to sell those foals. They're not that commercial than when you sell an abab or a for pleasure or name them all. But we sell the foals mostly to clients that have horses out of our breeding. So we do all what we do from our reference, and that's for us the most important thing.
Fred, if you start a breeding season, how do you start selecting? Is just, of course, you just explained that you go into horse telex and all those programs and look at the sports results of the whole family.
Yeah.
But what is the first thing that appeals to you in a stallion? Like if you, because you use young stallions, right?
Yeah.
So where do you see them for the first time, and when do you decide, hey, I want to use that one? Is that already because you know the background of his pedigree?
Yeah.
And then you know, oh, I know the pedigree of that young stallion. I want to see him. I want to try him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you see them at the approvals, and later on, what we see in the normal shows, every day here is show, even during the week, but also in the weekends. And then you see all those young stallions, or you see related ones from those young stallions, and that's for me the information.
And you know what fits your line, because you know
Yeah.
your mare line so well.
Yeah.
So you think, I want a stallion from that line because I know it fits my line, or
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
So for me, it's not only the stallion,
No.
but it's more, I see a stallion as an extension from a dam line. So that's the reason that I sometimes choose for a young stallion. But then I want to know everything about that young stallion.
So what is it? It seems typical for jumper breeders to go for the older, more proven stallions. What is it that makes you want to choose the younger stallions and sort of like maybe take more of a chance on them?
Yeah, I want to make bigger steps. I want to make more progress than the rest. And when you see them now in sport, for example, McLean Ward is now riding one from George Set, and that was the first year he was covering mares, and everyone was saying, oh, he's too young. But I know the line and the whole line, and I saw him jumping, and he was not approved at the BWP, and later on he was approved at Sangerside. But I like the stallion. He was eager and working. So we have now some in our breeding, 5 and 6 year olds, and the rest are waiting till the stallion himself is going Grand Prix. But I want to be a part
Of the
in
first.
the earlier stage.
Yeah.
And how do you think about, in terms of the way the sport is sort of changing over time, like thinking of the way maybe the courses are going to change, seeing, say, a lot more blood type horses now than 20 years ago. How do you kind of think? Are you looking at kind of the way things are going and what's been successful in the past, and then kind of balancing that, or you're always?
I always want an
modernize,
explanation for results.
Okay.
And when I was young, I started breeding, and I said to my dad, what you have is totally not interesting. So we're looking for new blood. So he traveled with me to Belgium, to France. We bought Lugano Flugel, that was the top combination. We had Almain mares, and later on we start traveling to Holstein. And we bought a lot, but after 5, 10, 15 years, they were not healthy, or not jumping, or bad character, or too small, or name it. So it was a bad investment. But his line still developed. And more horses out of that line show the results. And they came here and they asked my dad's breeding, not my breeding, my dad's breeding. So the most successful now is still my dad's breeding. And we have them in different lines, but one dam line, different lines. And you see that they are here having so much interior, we don't use thoroughbred. They're getting too hot. And riders don't need to ride them in a German way, they need to ride them more in an American way and soft. But when they go, they go. And when we start them free jumping, otherwise, others you see them waiting in the corner or this, but they all go from the beginning. And that's character and willing and durability and hardness. And that's something you get over generations.
Mostly in the mother lines then of the stallions.
Yeah.
Is what, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a bit struggling and fighting against the commercial story. Mm-hmm. And people go for names and they don't do any research. And they choose for a stallion and they, whoa, this is, but when you go look how many foals that stallion produced and what did they do and what the stallion himself was doing and at what level and how long and on what shows, then you get more information. And that's interesting. Yeah. But there is no choice here. We need to make money. We do it in a professional way, and not hobby. And the costs are so high, so you need to study. All the fillies start here. So they come out tomorrow and the others come in. So it's not the most modern, but yeah, I like it. And I start with them at 6 in the morning, feeding them. And I feed them at night, also by myself. And this is also giving information. Mm-hmm. Who is smart, who is quick, who is dumb.
Okay, so which is smart, which is quick, and which is dumb?
Hi.
That one is the boss, and she's small. Mm-hmm. And special breeding, Contargo, quickly the Kreisker, Triomphe de Mus, Calvados, Libero. It's 8 or 9 homebred generations, but she was a pony when she was born, and she's still the smallest, but unbelievable how quick she is.
What do you, Contargo, we saw him at Jumping Amsterdam, and he looks very modern. Seems like he's being used quite a bit. Are you?
Yeah.
What
but when he makes them like this, I never use it again.
Oh, okay.
But the way he's breed is very interesting, and what he's doing is phenomenal. That's Cassandra van Roosacker out of Eldorado. That's the Contargo. That's the Quanando. That's a young stallion. He's now in the US. He's from Belgium. Out of Jensen van Meulenhof, Diamant Casal. And the Diamant is in the States and the Casal is also in the States. This is Dorcanhero, Opium van de Moerhoeve. And then Atomic. And the other one is Carrera out of a Pomerol.
It's the largest.
Yeah. And last year we had 7 fillies, and the year before we had 13, and we still have them. But we had a lot of colts last year.
So do you ever sell fillies?
No.
You always want to keep them until they're older.
Yeah, yeah. And we tried, we sell, and then we make an appointment, and they say, okay, this filly is for you, but the first filly out of her is mine. And we can work for the same price, name it, but never, ever for me. At that point, there was someone else interested, or divorced or bankrupt or sold or whatever, and then he's gone. So I said to myself, I wait, and
Yeah.
later on, and now even with Flushing, you have more chances, but it's hard to make the right appointment for me. And our mares only have 1 or 2 foals, and yeah, when you have 10 foals, it's
Because you mean you're only breeding them at that early stage,
yeah,
and then they're
yeah,
going to sport.
yeah. Cameras on it. We have a system that we dat inaaien in die vulva, hoe heet dat ook alweer?
Yeah, what you net just told about putting it in on the vulva.
On the polar,
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
collar. Yeah.
And for us, it's till now the best system. So Jossa is taking all the foals, and she's living here in front, so she's not missing any. That's a young mare having the second foal, and that's already the 10th generation. Yep. That's an Eldorado mare. In foal to Refresh. Refresh is an NRPS approved stallion, and he's coming from the same dam line, so it's a bit line breeding. And her mom is doing now the 140, the grandma did the 150, but when we had Tokyo 2020, we had from 1 mare 2 show jumpers over there, so that was good. This is our son,
Hello everyone.
Fred Jr.
Nice to meet you all.
This is Jossa, our young. These are all young mares, and later on we will show them in the indoor. That's a young mare. The mom is in Canada with Fred, but won a class at Spruce Meadows last year by Shaman.
Suzanne Tricky also has horses from your
Yeah.
program, right?
Yeah, Bellamy also.
Ah,
She had the mom of Andretti, the animal. So here we have the riding school with the horses and ponies. We have 2 indoors. This is the oldest one. We made it a bit longer in the 70s, but this is one of the first indoors in Holland.
built when?
The 60s, 60, 67 or something. Yeah. And it's ideal for teaching the kids, parents up, door closed, and full attention. That's working. Shall we do some colored breeding, Appaloosas? And that's now a mix with the horse and the pony, but we still have the ponies, and it's all one family. And some of the ponies reached the age of 30, 35. And for 2 years, we had to put one down. Born here was 41. All mares from clients, Finland, Mexico, America. And then we do the whole package, do the insemination, the foal. When they want to sell, we go to the auction, or we sell it ourselves. And then later on, we back them, break them, and then start sport.
When they get older,
Yeah, the
right?
gray one, sold to Spain. That's an Poker Mariposa out of Casago, Toulon. And the second mare is also a George set out of I'm Special de Meuse. And the mom is doing the 140 in Germany. And this one is came in last week, is from our breeding 4-year-old. And you also need to train it and sell it. Here we have the group stables. Group 2-year-olds, group 3-year-olds, and another group 3-year-olds. 2 fillies, born late, both by Orak de Hamwijk. And Orak de Hamwijk is by Tobago, and Tobago is from Tangelo. So we wanted to use Tangelo And then at the end, there was a better son of Tangelo. Tobago won a lot of shows, won a lot of prize money. And then he had an approved son by Orak, and I saw him in Belgium, and looks very interesting. And now he's already doing the big losses. Also client horses too. No embryo transfer.
Yeah.
The vet is doing,
Okay.
but no ICSI.
But okay.
And ICSI for clients with older mares, but we tried with sport mares, but never ever do it again.
Okay.
It's a group of yearlings of 2-year-olds. This is Fred's, his stable. And he can explain what he's doing for the clients.
So I have 8 stalls here, which I rent from the family company. So I have my own company in the family company. So I rent now here 8 stalls. And then I have 2 horses from the family company, which also needed to be trained. They're standing there. This is really my department. Actually, what I do here is some sales, but also some training. So as a 2.5-year-old, they can bring it for sure the stallions, because then we can see if they are ready enough for the stallion approvals, if they're good enough for the stallion approvals. So then we can bring them to the stallion approvals and later on break them in and proceed in their sport career. So actually this is a 5 or 6-year-old stallion. My dad sold it as a foal to a Mexican client. Brought it in as a 2.5-year-old, then showed it to the KWPN, and in that time he was quite green, young, not mature enough. So they didn't take it at that time. Then we went to the IAS stud book and they licensed him. So he's licensed, he never covered in his life yet. But later on I think he will do something for the clients. They don't want to sell it at the moment, they just want to see how far it can go in a sport career, and then maybe later on the girl herself can ride it. He's by Kazan out of a Corab mare. This is a Wladimir S. It's sold at the Flanders auction. Actually, I have 5 horses from an American lady. She bought some from auctions, also bought some foals here. And then at a 2.5-year-old brought here. This one is 4. That is by, wait, from Derek Kenny now.
Bij Loeder Everton.
Yeah, Blue Tom. That's a 4-year-old. This one is by Petrosian out of Lyonnais. This one is also 4. This is Cocu de la Fille, and then quickly the Kreisker. So both bred by my dad, then sold as a foal. That's a 5-year-old Diamant Semeli. Starting to show now. Actually, we took our time last year because it was really big, and it needed time. But it's a really good Showjumper, also owned by an American lady. These 2 also, that one also. This one is a mare by Conflargos. She bought it as a foal in Germany. Also 4-year-olds, and actually she's quite lucky because she has 4 hunters. There's not of course where you breed for, but they make the money. So and we are specialized in everything. So hunters, show jumpers, equitation. So they get their developments here, and then as a 4 or 5-year-olds they go to the States, and then they eventually get sold there. So that's a little bit of plan of the lady, and she's quite lucky till now. She has good X-rays, healthy horses, and last year she only bought 1 foal from here, and she already picked out of the list you saw. Hopefully it's a colt then, because otherwise my dad doesn't sell. This is a cool then, a 5-year-old. I sold it to the States as a little bit of an all-round horse. Can be a hunter, can be equitation, can be a jumper. And I sold it with 2 months training included. So he needed some more show periods, and already did 2 practice shows now. So then the whole package is complete when he leaves. So he leaves a little bit around end of February, and then hopefully he's ready. So that's a little bit what I do.
You offer the whole longer program than just selling.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's a little bit what I try to do, and also the lady who has 5 horses, also looking to sales. It's interesting enough, and it's delivering the whole package a little bit, and that's also what we tell as we sell a foal. It's not just only selling a foal. Later on, we can also help out with training and getting a tune approval and stuff like that.
So these ones, have they been raised here as well?
So I think it's two, those two, and that one are bred here and then raised at a farm nearby.
Donginning, you know? You know.
Seven? Yeah, by seven.
Yeah.
That's where my
Yeah.
show is.
So they grow up there, and then 2.5-year-old. I always like to have them in around August because then you have enough time for approvals. If you bring them in too late, then for sure you have no chance at an approval. So yeah.
A good mare. She will have the first foal by Tattoo. Sorry?
Whose foal is she carrying? Because she's surrogate, so which mare's foal is she carrying?
I show later. Litola. And Litola is now in sport. And the thing is, there are some firms in Holland, some vets, and then you buy the surrogate mare. So she is carrying now for the fourth year in a row our foals. So we just use her, and she's having a top character, and she's good mom, and still a young mare. And that's a bit problem with the flushing. You cannot choose the surrogate mare, and we had some awful mares here, and also mean mares to the foal, and terrible. So it's not a big success.
When you have a good one, you want to buy it.
Yeah, you keep it. That's a Carrera mare. She did the 135, and then she's having a full brother. She's now in Spain at the Sunshine Tour. He's done the first 145, so talented, and the rider says, yeah, it will definitely be a Grand Prix horse later on. So that's the reason that we're not selling her, and hopefully we have some more fillies out of her to continue the line. Surrogate mare. And she's carrying a foal by Drummer, and then Tangelo, George ZZ, and then the Rosacker family. But the George Z belongs to a friend of mine, a young mare, but did his first 140, very promising, so that's the reason we did some flushing. Poker the Mariposa, and then Casago Toulon. It's also 9 generations homebred. Agonix mare, but later on we show them in the indoor, and then you will see them. Born here, sold to an American lady, and she sold in the auction, and she's having a 4-year-old daughter out of her, and then a guy in Rome, an Italian, bought it and keep it here. So. Yeah, we have 6 Agonix mares, and
What do you like so much about him?
yeah, his performance himself. But Gute Sitte was one of the best mares ever in the 70s, 80s with Erik Wouters. And it's all offspring of that mare. So it's a big family, but it's unbelievable how many sport horses coming from him. And super mind, strong hind leg, strong body. So interested to have 6 mares at the moment.
And you all like them a lot.
Yeah,
The mares.
yeah,
The mares are
yeah,
really good.
yeah. They get their chances. We start riding them. Jossa's already having one in the 130, but it's promising. This one lost her foal in November, December. 4-year-old. We bring them to Friesland, that's in the north, every year. And then they come back in September, October. And then she was infected with a bacteria, Salmonella. Salmonella is the right word. And she had to recover 1.5 years. She was on the ground, and I still said the vet flew in, try, and then, but she was not growing, and she had a tough time. We will show her now, but she's totally healthy now. It's enormous jumper, mover, very nice mare. The shit that we lost her foal, but she's interesting.
At least she's getting better now.
Yeah,
So you plan on breeding her this year?
yeah, again.
And
Yeah.
who are you breeding her to?
We had New Pleasure was on her, and that was interesting. But yeah,
So you'll do that again?
yeah. No, I'm not sure.
No, you're not sure.
And maybe we do flushing and start riding her. I don't know. We have time to think. Hey, hey. Yeah. So that's the stallion, the Kazam. And that's Kazam. Kazan is Balobé, Heartbreaker. And the mom is Corland, Carolus, Hold Up, Cash, Nimmerdorf, Burggraaf, Le Mexico, Uron. So that's also 9 generations born here. But when he's on show, there is lots of demand on the horse, and it's a very talented horse. So
People asking if they can buy him.
yeah. So the young Mexican girl is happy owner.
Yeah.
He was as a 2.5-year-old, half the size not, but like half the size in his body, like very thin in his neck and totally not developed. And so we took a half year to tie him more, and then we went to the IES stud book, and there he got licensed. So sometimes it's also better for like a horse like this to keep a little bit longer.
And all the mums, also her mum, at least 130, 135, 140, and even it goes back to the Burggraaf mare, and that was in the 80s, and she was already doing the 140. There is a young stallion in Canada at the moment called Picobello. And Picobello is by United Touch out of Dinken, Toulon. And this is the mum. She's doing the 135 now, ready for the 140. It's unbelievable mare. And the mum is in Wellington for the 4th or 5th year already. Doing the 140, the 145. So the line is unbelievable. They are in sport and they are long in sport. I show you later on a picture over there, a photo. We have pedigrees and photos. And one mare called Una Bella. She started sport at 6 and ended up when she was 19 winning a 2-star in Italy. So 13 years in a row in sport, and that's telling something. Okay. Yeah. But already covered over there in Canada last year, 40 mares. Picobello is. That's Agonix mare. He's in sport with Josta doing 130. This is Global Express. He's having the same mum as the Dinken, also Toulon mare. That's the one who is jumping now in Wellington. She is doing a 145. This is the Glenfiddich. This is the mum to the El Baron we started with. Ready for the 140.
Goes back to Bellamy then?
Yeah, all Bellamy's. That's the only one made by Ixie here. And she is a complete lunatic and a bad mum. So she really didn't understand what to do with the foal. And now she's living in this stable. And she is stable. She is calm, accepting it. We had her in that stable and she was trying to jump over it. Her front legs were already over. Over there at the end the same. Never find the stable. She was calm. And here she's accepting it. Josta had a tough time working her and is now ready to do the 120 and very talented, but to keep her normal in the head. So the mom was away out of sport after Ixie for a year. So we never ever do Ixie with sport horses again. And
She's out of sport because she was sore. Because she was like
yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah, and the balance gone and the power in the hind gone and never ever again. Ogano zitten. And I told you about that one that was ill from out the field. and it was manure from geese, and then they poop on the grass, and the rain is coming, and then the grass is infected. But she was also bad for a year, and now she is doing the shows and totally recovered.
Did they get sore feet, laminitis from that?
No, they didn't had problems with the feet, but only getting very small and
GI tract.
yeah, all the muscles are gone, unbelievable, and they still eat, but
They don't absorb.
yeah.
She's incredible mare, jumping 135, 140 right now. She's really cute and really nice to ride, but she has a really powerful hind end and really knows her job. Her whole line is a lot of sport out. Even selected for the Olympics. The dam line is unreal with the performances.
That's a shaman, born here, sold, and but still in training with Josta, also ready for the 140. And we had a lot of good horses from shaman. It combined very well with the Bellamy's, so we're happy to have some mares in our breeding. But the mares are already grandma, so we're going further with the further generation, next generation. This is my favorite, Donna. Is by Favorite Ask. Favorite Ask is a full brother to Elvis de Putte. Her dad is approved in Denmark. The mom is a Grand Prix horse by Carrera, ridden by Michael van der Vleuten. And then originally the line is from It's Otto. So we have a lot of sport horses from that line. So all we have here and still breeding, we have them for more generations. Dittorio-S, from her we will have the first foal this year by Tattoo. This is my favorite.
Why?
She's still laughing at me, but special interior and great offspring of her, but doing things so easy, so very easy. So I have big hopes for her.
What's the lineage of this one again?
Capitol line. So we call it Holsteiner line 173. 180, huge horse, starting now. Had a lot of time. We have good offspring from her. Corico, quite easy. The mom did the 135 and produced by Eldorado van de Zeshoek, a 150 horse, and is now doing the Grand Prix in Costa Rica. I was selecting for a big auction here in Holland for 18 years, and I was in Belgium, and I saw the mom of her as a foal, as a filly, and I bought it, and we still have the mom. She's in sport, but the line is interesting and all European ponies behind it. So it's an interesting pedigree to breed. And the problem here in Holland is there is no more pony breeding. So we can combine it a bit with the riding school, and it's a bit fun, but the line is interesting. And she is 4-year-old and having her first foal. A young horse by Zero Blue. You saw the dad by Nijhoff. And the mom is that Litola. This is also what we do here. We train students. Jossa is having a lot of talents. Also Fred is having some students to teach. And this girl is come from Malaysia. And she is here at boarding school. And she wanted to do the Asian Games, so she needed to select them. So we train the horse, but we also train her, and she go to shows, and we do the whole package. This one also bought as a foal. Still difficult to start a new line, but I saw her as a filly. And to me, interesting. She was not selected for the auction, but I bought her. And now she had 2 foals, and we start sport with her. And yeah, talented. You all hear about de la Pomme, that breeding, and that's her breeding. She's by Nixon van Meulenhof, then Tinka's boy, then it goes further under the de la Pomme family. Full brother is doing the 145, full sister is doing in the UK the 130, and now she is coming. It's a Burberry. Burberry is by Sarah Dick, also a young stallion from Belgium. And the mum is Quasimodo Cadento. That's a pony stallion to see if the mares are in heat. So he's having a tough life here. And yeah. But he's now 4 and under the saddle, so we start, and he's good behaving. He's better behaving under the saddle than when you lead him. Young mare by Defender. Her sibling is also in the States with, called Lanabelle. Lisa Carlson, you know her? Yeah, that's a rider. Staccato Gold. Agonix mare. Typical Bellamy. So the model is a bit like great grandma herself. Not a modern horse, but she's having so much blood. It's unbelievable. She have her first foal, but typical to when you use Agonix, is also a bit old-fashioned in type. The whole family is a bit old-fashioned with Darko, and then you see it back in generations, and you have a mare like this. The photos and the pedigrees. So all the mares in spot here, and the best mares will have her own plate. Isabel is also in the States. Did the 150 with Fred Jr. here. And last year, even with a very young girl, she was competing again at the age of 19 or 20.
So eventually you will sell them if you have.
Yeah, we have to. This is with a special footing, all weather footing, so we can ride all year. We do one group of 2-year-olds here in the old indoor, and then I have to wait till they are in. So we rented a huge field here in the neighborhood, and every year when the young ones came from Friesland, we put them over there in the field. And then the first week of October, they came in, or November. But we did it one horse by bike with Josta in front, and the rest following on the road. And they video it. And some broadcaster here in Holland also share it. And it was viewed 800,000 times. So they go in the field another year, another season, and then we start taking X-rays October, November this year. It's the first time they come here. We all know they know the route to go outside in a big paddock.
If those are the poles you have to jump.
So 2 full sisters, and that's a bit when sometimes you start breeding and you only get colts, and then you start flushing at 6, and you have 2 mares out of 1 flushing. So 2 full sisters here. Yeah, but that's the future. They need to have length and size and blood. And also from an amateur, when you sit on a horse that's copy, you get confident and you do your thing. that's what they do. They need to react, and they do.
When you say two, are they 2020? Are they coming three this year? Or they're coming two.
Two.
They're coming two.
They're quite tall.
That one's big.
Huge. The reason for breeding her again is that she has some successful offspring, but one filly. We did not have success the first time with flushing, and then it was later in the season. Then we said, okay, let's have a foal again, and then we start sport after the foal. But she's already under the saddle, jumping a small course, but yeah, good to ride, good mind. And pedigree is special. The mom is in the States. The grandma is in the States. The great grandma is in the States, and the great grandma is with the name.
Suzanne Freaky.
Yeah, is having the great grandma, Nisabel, by Aganix this year. And then the mom is the Verdi, eh?
Number 17.
And that's typical for the whole line. When you lead them here and you put them here in the middle and you walk and you look, but when you sit on it, and it definitely need to go on the show, then you see the interior is working for you. But in the stable and in normal duties, she's very normal and very good behaving. So the mom over there, Zabel, is the great grandma of her at the top. This is Poker de Mariposa, Poker Casago Toulon, also Bellamy, and in foal to Zero Blue. Had a very nice colt last year by Zero Blue, and I think that shoots very good. She's having size and length, and that's a bit what Zero Blue needs. But Zero Blue, when you see him jumping, it's unbelievable what a horse with those genetics is able to. He jumps so loose in his body and is having a lot of scope. So for me, very interesting. And then Sarah and Fine Sarah behind it, a lot of performance. The grandma of Zero Blue won the Hamburger Derby. So there's a lot of performance. Fred is having a cold, so I don't know if he's able to trot a bit. I don't do anything.
You don't have to do anything. Bloody, yeah?
A lot of blood, yeah. That's mom and daughter. So that's the Dinken. And that's the Aganix out of the Dinken. 4. And she's way behind of the rest, but she's eating well and feeling well, so it needs time, but it's a pity that she lost her foal, but yo, dankjewel.
Nice, right?
A nice mare.
That marriage is something.
So a jumper that can move. And unbelievable, when she did her first class in the 110, in the 120, in the 130, in the 135, she's just playing with it. She's more than talented. Aganix, E Toulon, Solano, Libero, Burggraaf, La Mexico. Sometimes we make the choice to sell, and later on you say, okay, but then you follow, and then after all, you made the right decision. Yeah. But I have no problem with selling a mare later on. When we have a filly out of her, we can eventually also sell the mare for breeding. And we started with all the mares in sport and keep them and train them up to the 130, 135 for the sport predicate. But every year we have so much, we're not able to ride them all. So for me, it's also okay to say after a filly, sell it and made it in fall and ship it. It's also possible. But the information we get from working those mares in sport is essential.
People that keep them as a stallion prospect?
Oh,
All of them.
yeah. The first case, they all want to train them up to the approvals.
Yeah.
So also good X-rays and good free jumping, and when they choose for it, and otherwise they geld it and start as a 4-year-old with sport horses. But last year we sold 7 colts to the US, and all to clients that have horses from us. Yeah. Yeah.
Impressive photos, generous.
And you can follow on Instagram and on Facebook, and when you see the results, and there is an S, there are more S horses in the world, but it's interesting to see on horse dealers if they come from here. Okay. Thank you for coming, for visiting. Yeah. And we will see each other coming days.
Bellamy of the Mexico mare, that is the base mare for your breeding actually.
Yeah. The line increased in quality and the sport horses came, and now we are 30, 35 years further, and the best line is still his line. And how come? The character over generations and the willing, beside of a not super modern model, but the character and the willing is there. And now over several branches, most of the success is this line.
Well, that's quite clear. Let's look into the different horses that you bred. I've pictured 2 as an example. One is Una Bella here, jumping in France at a 5-star event. It is by Calvados, Libero, and then Burghoff. So if you look at these steps that you've taken all the way, why did you choose these stallions?
Yeah, Calvados, the mentality and bringing some scope into the line.
Calvados was a 160 jumper with Peter Gering.
Yeah, and with Unabella, she started with 6, and she was in sport for 13 years, and when she was 19, she was able to win a 2-star in Italy. And our experience is the best mares with the best performance bring us still the best results. And
that's why you bring most of your mares now in sport.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. Libero, walk-up winner,
unbelievable when the first Grand Prix horse we bred was a Libero Nimodor. We sold the mare in Faux. And I remember the final of the World Cup in the Bosch, and when you saw Libero having almost a fault in the Yorkshire, and quicker than a second, he was there and he was clear and he was winning. But he was not popular at all at the beginning, but he did such a good thing for us.